Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Idle Angels video. I'm kind of on a roll right now with 2 videos a day. I'll be doing my best to cover up as much as possible. As I've already mentioned many times, the more ideas that I have, the more happy I am to make videos. But sometimes when there's almost nothing new into the game, I feel like I don't have the motivation or even come up with the ideas of what to build. So in this video, I am going to try and summarize almost everything that I managed to come up with when it comes to a beginner's guide video. So I will try to explain every single thing with going through from level 1 to level 200, what happens, how your account progress, what is important, what is not, and how do you upgrade and use every single thing into the game. If I miss out something, please do mention it down into the comments. And if something is not chronologically appealing or correct, please do take my mistake. I'm doing my best in order to mention it chronologically, but I might have missed out something. I will be looking on the left to my notes a lot, but let's start with it. So once you go and enter into the game, you will be receiving the intro, and on that intro it will be teaching you some very basic mechanics of how to deploy angels, how to upgrade a few of the angels, and etc. stuff like that. This is the very beginning, and basically how the game works is you have the PvE aspect of the game where you will be battling the stages, and the more stages you complete, the more experience you gain, the more you level up, and the better rewards you will be receiving from the idling rewards over here. Idle rewards can be going up to 12 hours, so you will need to log in twice a day in order to claim them. It is very important to claim them early on because it will be giving you a lot of experience, and the experience is very needed because until you reach level 120 you will be unlocking a lot of events and potentials and new things into the game. So essentially your goal is to push as much as possible and as fast as possible to reach level 120. Once you reach level 120, you can kind of calm down a bit on the experience and the levels of the game, and you can start focusing more on how the game actually works, what to collect, who to build, and etc. stuff like that. So there are different ways to collect XP. One is through the idling on the normal stages. The other is to use the quick combat. So use your diamonds and use the quick combat scrolls, which accumulates to 2, 5, or 10 hours of idling rewards. And then there was another way that was, so here on the bonus, you could be doing the Ludo, which will be providing you sometimes with experience if you land on it, but in my opinion it's not that big of a boost, more or less, as long as you follow up to fight the main stage to as much as possible and then use the quick combat scrolls. You will have to be able to reach level 120 probably within the first 2-3 weeks of you playing the game. Now you have already started and you've reached level 10. Level 10 should be the first milestone, and if I'm not mistaken, on level 10 or level 15 it will be here on the daily that you can fight a world boss. The world boss is essentially giving you a red type of gear. The gear is going to be going from purple to orange to red, with red being the giving you the highest stats. So as you can see, one of my supports has yellow gear, so that's not the best possible gear, and then my other DPS has some of the gear as red. The most important part is the level. How you get the level to go up? Well, the level here on the bottom goes up by beating certain stages, and they will upgrade what level gear you get. The further you push, the higher the level of the gear will be. On level 15 you should unlock the arena, which will be here on compete, and then you go to the arena. On the arena, the reward here on the bottom is the reward you will be getting at the end of the day. So if you push the furthest, you will be getting some nice good amounts of diamonds and currency. You have 5 attempts to fight per day, but you can use as many diamonds as you want in order to push further. Once you reach a certain rank, there's no need to buy diamonds for additional attempts. It is good to stay at where you're at. On top of the arena, you will unlock something called the enhancement. The enhancement is once you go into an angel and then click on the info, here on the bottom right, it will have the enhance option. And over here, it will have the yellow level. So the yellow number, sorry, this is how much you can and have enhanced the levels. The enhancement level of the gear can reach the level of your account. So currently my account is rank 5. I will later on explain what rank 5 means, but I have reached level 200, and then each rank provides 10 additional levels. So rank 5 is 50 additional levels to my enhancement, and that's why I am able to upgrade my gear to 250. Then you will be having the guild option. On the guild option, there's not much that you can do. So the first one is the boss evasion. What you do on the boss invasion, sorry, is that you will be getting some platinum boxes, guild boxes, and basic and advancement. So those guild boxes will be giving you nice additional rewards. As you can see from those, you can be getting some gems, holy cores, enhancement materials, and coins. And then it will be the same from the other boxes, just a lower amount, which is very, very nice because it's some additional items that you can use to upgrade your angels. On level 20, you will be unlocking the adventure. So the adventure is something that on the first tab over here, you will be having to do some missions. So if you click on a mission, you will be sending your angel to a mission and you will be receiving some additional rewards, which is very, very nice. And on the right side, it will be encounters. In order to receive encounters, you need to be collecting your chest here from the idle rewards, or once you start using the quick combats, it will pop up that you have encountered something. So you just need to go back to the hall daily, and then on adventure, it will be over here. Currently, I have only one, and then I send an angel. Those angels are giving you favorability points. Now those favorability points are used over here. So if we click on an MC angel and we click it over here, you will see a menu with all of the angels that you own currently, and it will be providing some stats for the main angel. The idea is that you can unlock it for all other angels that you have. Let me just choose someone that is not maxed out yet. And then when you click it, it will have over here the small heart, which won't be filled at all. And on the right, it will be on the number 0. So how it works is you are going to be collecting some gifts, and you could be giving those gifts in order to level up the affinity points. The more you upgrade the affinity points, the better the attribute bonuses you will get for that angel. So you can see there are some nice amounts. At stage 2000, you will be able to marry the angel. Marrying the angel will give you a nice buff, and that buff being is when you click on the fate. For instance, let's say Enmu needs those 2 angels in order to receive the 20% attack. If you marry the angel, you only need to own those 2 additional support angels to get the buff. Because in order to get the buff, those angels need to be put into the main lineup. But since you marry your angels, they don't have to be on the lineup between position 1 to 12. You just need to own them and your angels will be getting that buff. Then we are going to be moving to level 25. At level 25, you will unlock something called crafting gear. Crafting gear is essentially the maximum level of gear that you have unlocked. You will be able to craft it as yellow gear and then equip it to your angel. Crafting gear is a bad, and you shouldn't bother with crafting gear at all, but there will be a mission over here on the quest, sorry, not on the level up, that will ask you to craft 6 pieces of gear. You do that quest and then you forget about crafting gear at all. After that, we are going to be moving to the Clash of Titans at level 35. You unlock Clash of Titans and basically you will need to sign up. Once you sign up, your goal is to reach rank 1 or highest as possible. This is a PvP event. Keep in mind, on Clash of Titans, it's very important that you do your defense lineup and you update your defense lineup always. Because if you don't update your defense lineup, people will just straight up beat you and you will lose every single time. The rewards for being first and ending the event first are very nice. 3000 diamonds, 3000 holy cores and some coins. And on the top of the screen you can see how much time it is left until the Clash of Titans event ends. Then level 40 you will be unlocking something called Sky Tower. Here on the Sky Tower, it's basically the main one and it ends on stage 1000. Your goal is just to push as much as possible and then use your keys in order to sweep to get some additional rewards and advanced training vials. Why are those vials useful? So let me show you with one of the angels that I haven't really upgraded. So on the bottom over here, you will unlock this training method. And on the training method, this will boost the main attributes of the angel. And you can then do the breakthrough. There are 3 different types of vials. And the goal is to be upgrading it to the maximum. So your angel is getting the most amount of stats. I would suggest first to go for the DPS angel of your choosing. I assume most of you have chosen Perseus for the time being, but if you're watching this video at later stage, another DPS angel might be stronger. So try to upgrade your DPS angel first. Then we are going to be moving to the Relic. Relics unlock at level 60. So how it works is you will be encountering here on the daily the Secret Abyss. Secret Abyss will be this one on the left, and you will be having to fight some additional stages with the option to spend some of your purple coins for rewards over here on the shop. In my opinion, holy cores in the beginning are worth to buy because you will be lacking some levels, but with time holy cores lose their value and the best option to buy is the orange relic fragments. On top of that, the more you beat the secret level, once you go to the summon, you will have the opportunity to summon for relics 10 times, and when you summon for the relic 10 times on the basics, you will have those relics over here. I have a complete guide over how to do relics and what is important about them, but essentially it is good to mention that every single MR angel have their own relic, specific relic that will provide them some nice buff. So as you can see, this is exclusive limited buff for Lucifer that gets crit damage up by 90%. And how do you unlock those special relics is there are some events that will be giving you SSR plus relic chest, and then if you click on use you can find different relics, and here with red will be the name of the angel that uses this relic. On level 60 you will also unlock something called Dreamland. Now Dreamland is one of the best events for early game because you will be getting quite a lot of blue scrolls. How exactly does Dreamland work? So you will be choosing a gate and then you will have the option to do the blue or the red gate. The red gate, how it works is you could be fighting it all the way to the max for 30 stars and you receive some nice blue and red scrolls. And then the blue gate, you will be time gated by how much you can challenge per day. So you have 10 challenges per day, and if I'm not mistaken it will take you like 2.5 days because it takes 25 or 26 attempts in order to beat to the max chapter, and then you will be getting those chests over here depending on the name of the gate that you are doing. For instance, let's say you joined the Hera gate. On the Hera gate, once you beat the blue gate, the left one, you will get some chests that will contain shards for Hera, or you can use it, those chests, to get the blue scrolls. It is for the best, for the angels that you are not going to build, to get the blue scrolls, and for the angels that you want to build, to get the either UR or UR plus shards. Don't bother with collecting the SSR, because the SSR plus shards are not worth getting from those chests. After that, we are going to be moving to something called Divine Howl that also unlocks on level 60. The more you upgrade an angel, the more of those blue and purple stuff you will be getting. And basically those are kind of like an engraving with giving you some passive points. With the more angels that you build throughout the time, the more you will be able to build those passive points. This is basically it about the Divine Howl. The Holy Hall is the more you upgrade those hearts over here by giving gifts, the stronger buffs you will be receiving, passive buffs and stats for your angels. And the Angel Temple, basically the more you max out an angel, the more points you will be getting. And once again, here on buff, you can see it provides you additional attack percentages and HP percentages for your angels. Then we are moving to level 70. On level 70, you should be unlocking, where is it? Here on the daily, something called Star Trial. Now, how the Star Trial works is there are two different difficulties that you can pick out, and the more you once you beat a easier difficulty, you move to the next difficulty. You will be required to do a team of 2 angels, and once you beat it, you will be getting those level gem pouches. When you go to your angels, doesn't matter which one, preferably the DPS first, it will be these here on the bottom. So you need to first unlock them, and then you will be placing them accordingly, the attack, defense, defense penetration, and HP gems, with of course the attack gem being most important for your DPS, and HP gems most important for a lot of the supports, but some supports are requiring the attack gem as well. So with time you will be maxing that out. Then we are going to be moving to level on level 50, I have missed out to mention something called the artifact. The artifacts are those red gears over here, and those red gears are going to give you some nice additional buffs. As you can see, when you max out this sword, it gives you crit damage up plus 60%. How do you craft those? Is when you go to the smelt and then craft, you will receive the craft artifact on the right. And here is the craft level maximum. So at the beginning, you will be starting with crafting level 1 artifacts. So they will have only 1 star. Then after you do some amounts of crafts, you will reach level 2, and after that level 3. Level 3 is the maximum, and my suggestion is to craft as much as possible until you reach the maximum. Once you reach the 3 stars of crafts, you can start equipping the gear onto your DPS, and of course maxing it out with the idea that your DPS should be maxed out first and fully focused on it in order to progress the highest. Why is that important? Is because when you reach a certain PvE stage, at that point you won't really benefit from having the supports more stats on them. It will be dependent on your TPS only. Of course, in the way later stages, once the supports are very nicely built and almost maxed out, this is when the stats will be providing more buffs as well. But a non-build support would really make no difference in having higher stats. Then we move to level 95 Illusion Corridor. So on level 95 you will unlock something here on the daily called Illusion Corridor, and how it works is you can choose 3 buffs on the bottom, and here on the top you can choose something called Genesis Essence. Those Genesis Essence give you some different buffs, and on the videos that I make on how to build certain angel, I explain which one is the best to pick out and why. Your goal with this is to make a gem that is very, very nice and strong, and then place it here onto the gems, and it could give you some nice additional benefits. As you can see, I have one that provides a lot of HP. For my DPS, I have created a gem that provides nice additional final damage and crit damage in order to deal more. But overall, this is the idea of Illusion Corridor. Then we are going to be moving into something called the fashion or the wardrobe. You unlock that at level 100. Level 100, all you need to do is go to your angel, click on the small ring, and then onto the wish. And by wishing, you will be spending some coins, so gold. After which, if you click like me to recycle all of the gear, you will just receive some items. But if you are at the start, you will definitely want to not auto recycle everything, so you get the gear. As you can see, we are getting some nice gear, and over here on the wardrobe you can see what you have collected, with of course the idea equipping your DPS first and then all other angels, and looking at what is provided, like endurance, which is HP, attack power, depending on what your angel needs and uses. Again, I am explaining this one, how to build it on every single angel when I do the video how to build. Level 110 is something called Relic Awakening. At level 50 or 60 it was, you will get the relics. We already spoke about it, but on level 110 you get the opportunity to awaken a relic. Awakening a relic will buff the 2 skills of the current angel, and then the last one will always be providing some passive buffs for PvP. On top of that, while you are awakening the relic, it can go up to level 90 awakening, and at max it will give you 30% more max HP and 30% attack. How do you do that? Is on the relic awakening, and then by using some different materials, over here the purple stones, and then on every 5 stages you will need some additional resonance crystal in order to push it further. How do you buy that? Is on the store, on the abyss, and here on the bottom it will be unlocked. Also, once you reach level 110, on the daily where the secret abyss is, you will unlock something called Fear Abyss. On the Fear Abyss you will be collecting weekly some additional rewards, and the goal is to reach stage 800. With every 50 levels you will be making a stop. So you start from level 1, story level 1, and then when you reach story level 51 it will be saved, and next week you will start from story level 51. So basically you make a lineup, and once an angel dies it stays dead. So your goal is to push to at least 751 to get the maximum rewards weekly, and then every single week you need to push from 751 to stage 800. At level 120, this is when you will unlock every single event into the game that will be coming out, and you will be farming all of the potential items and blue scrolls and etc. Also, you will unlock something called Nightmare Dungeon. Now, Nightmare Dungeon is something that requires 2 different teams of 6 angels. So you will need 12 angels in total. And also it is limited by how many times you can attempt it per day. But it's like winning. So you can clear 3 stages per day if I'm not mistaken. So it will take you some time in order to beat all of the stages. Once you unlock the Nightmare, also it comes with additional gear, which is here on the bottom. As you can see, it's the level 345 gear that I have. It's just some additional gear that gives you max HP and attack power, which is very, very nice. Also with that you unlock something over here on the bottom that will be the Starlight Destiny Stars, and basically it will be giving you additional stats and buffs, with the idea that if you manage to reach level 10 on 6 different angels, it will be unlocking some kind of a passive skill for those angels. Same goes for the level 20, and same goes if they reach level 30 as well. On top of that, we have the pet system. In order to unlock the pet system, you need an angel to reach MR5, which means that those stars over here need to be MR5. And once you do that, you will unlock the pet stages. So the pets and how they work is a Seraphal summon. You spend 2000 diamonds in order to summon, and with time, that 100 summons, if I'm not mistaken, you will be getting a pet. But if you already have a maxed out pet, then you won't be getting a pet. You will be just getting some of those additional energy cores. So right now I managed to get a pet, which is very, very nice. Your goal with pets is to get the Death Reaper, because Death Reaper is the DPS one. And once you get it, you can just assign the Death Reaper to another angel. On the training, you have the opportunity to level up in order to get more attack and HP, so to get additional benefits and rewards. On level 30, not level 30, on day 30 of playing the game, you will unlock something called Chaotic Realm, and the Chaotic Realm is basically going to be some passive stuff that will be giving you more productions. Like you can see over here, you can create diamonds, holy cores, then you can make the enhancement stones, and then you can get the gem labs. So it's kind of like a small town that is working for you. And there is the eudaimons that are not angels, but additional stuff, so like additional characters that will be providing you some nice passive buffs. As you can see, they give you something like Holy Core production, 25%, and then physical resistance. And you could use those teas and feed stuff in order for them to reach a certain level, with me suggesting that reaching level 81 on each one is very, very good to do. You can see you can just spam and you will be giving their level. And then there's the special eudaimon that will be requiring some of those elemental stones. And what I suggest is to go for the elemental ages always first when it comes to picking the eudaimons. There's the treasure realm, in which you send some of those eudaimons to collect you miracle cards. And miracle cards are very, very nice and important into the game, because once again they give us passive stats, and passive stats means that our angels are stronger. Here on the airship, sometimes on the shop you could be buying blue scrolls, but there are other stuffs on a rotation period every single day. So sometimes you will be getting some different rewards and not the blue scrolls. And the newest thing into the game is the Destiny Relic. Again, we are getting passively some stats. You have the opportunity to upgrade those relics, but to upgrade them you will be having to spend some money during certain events. And then there is the Divine Engraving, which will be very, very costly, because it requires those SSR plus angels to be quite upgraded in order to have the benefits of those engravings. Then we have the level 200. So once you reach level 200, you are going to unlock this apotheose. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, so I'm not going to even try. But once you reach this over here, you will have the battle pass, and then you will be having to complete some challenges in order to reach the maximum stage. Once you reach the maximum stage of each rank, you move to the next rank, and with each rank you get more passive stats, and then the gear enhancement level can go up to the plus 10 limit, with the highest being rank 6 level 100 into the game. And it should take you about a year and a half in order to reach rank 6 level 100. Let me check if there's something else. When it comes to the skins, right now there is a sale on the Fashion Week. So each skin provides you attack up, which is very nice for the angels that care about the attack, like your DPS, but you don't really need to spend money in order to get the skins. Do it only if you really like the angel and you really want the skin. Then we have the upgrade of angels. So basically, by upgrades of angels is you should always focus on your DPS to be maxed out and to be the highest as possible. And after that, you can go on to the supports. And that being said, that everything goes onto your DPS early on. All the gear, all the gems, everything goes into there. Probably I should have mentioned this in the beginning, but the different rarities of the angels start from the N, R, R+, SR, SR+, then SSR, SSR+, and from there you get the UR, UR+, and MR, and then incarnation is something additional, but I have a specific video explaining all those rarities. The most important part is that those MR angels are the strongest currently in the game, providing the best buffs, but some of the SSR plus angels are very useful as well. As you can see, I have built some of them. And then there is the decision with time and with more knowledge that you gain on who to build, why to build it, and stuff like that. The video is already 30 minutes long, and I hope that I managed to cover everything that I wanted to as of a beginner. Once again, if I have missed out onto something, and I probably did, please do mention it down into the comments. But overall, I think this video will should be useful on what to expect and how the game kind of progresses and what it feeds you on, with the exception that in this video I didn't cover up the rarities of the angels, which are the strongest and something like that, but this is because I have a separate video only regarding the rarities and explaining that one. So without further ado, I would like to conclude this video. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I hope that I'll see you on the next one.